Hey, here for round three. My opponent took a little longer to come in. Looks like his connection was off, so we didn't start the round until later, which is fine. Our games have been pretty quickly, which is good. I mean, it means I have to talk less. With really long matches, I sometimes get caught up in the game and not say anything, and then if I do say too much, I end up making the wrong mistake just because I'm distracted. But hopefully, well, not hopefully, but if these matches don't go long, I should be able to make the optimal play, tell you guys, and win the game. So we'll see. I don't know what my opponent is playing. I haven't really scouted. Though that could be a good strategy for those of the time. But I was just doing some other stuff, so I was unable to see. I do have all the decks though, which is good. My opponent, we lost a draw. My opponent just played first. I'm definitely keeping this hand. I know it's a one lander, but any land is good. Um, so I'm not gonna mulligan. I don't want to mulligan to 5 because that just makes my draw a lot less, like, it makes it so pressure is just completely off. So we didn't draw land, unfortunately. I think this might be the Gryffindor deck. Yes, it is. Also didn't draw land. Gryffindor deck is definitely a tough one because of Griffin Rider. Um, Pretty much. He makes, and because we have no real removal, he just has inevitability, and he will eventually become a 4/4 flyer. So here we have Garrick's Companion, which is nice. My opponent's playing cards like Stave Off, which is bad for Phantasmal Bears, but he is playing Demystify, and I think he starts off with 5 cards in hand. So since if he has a Demystify in his opening hand, that's pretty much a hand of 4. So luckily he doesn't have one. He does have a lot of life though, which is unfortunate. I'm definitely playing these Merfolk, Coral Merfolks. If he wants to trade, I'm happier with that. I'd rather him trade. It looks like he's waiting for the 4th land for Griffin Sentinel. What I will do, I actually should have played a bear. Okay, that's fine. What I will do, that's actually a pretty good draw, and I could play 2 bears for 3 mana. If I do draw another island, which I hope I will, he might stave off here, and he might block and stave off, which should have been another reason to play Phantasmal Bear, though not really, because Phantasmal Bear just dies to stave off. What I'm trying to say is that if he does have a Griffin Rider and I do have a 3rd mana up, I will attack, essentially suicide my guy into this Griffin Rider, and then Aether Adept his Griffin, so the Griffin Rider dies with damage, with it being a 1/1 and just having 1 damage. Frost Breath though is pretty good for the Griffin Riders. So here, just attack with the team. You know, we got out of that 1 lander, and my opponent still hasn't. Mainly because he starts at 5 cards. I didn't want any deck that would start at 5 cards because that just means you have to have a perfect opening hand, hard enough on 5 cards, that you don't want to mulligan to 4. So here my opponent's making a strange block. He's not blocking my Coral Merfolk. So you make Guardian's Pledge here? Yeah. 2 for 1 is hard. It's definitely a tough one. But he's down to 11. That was pretty, not super devastating, but it's hard to face. Is this a Griffin Sentinel? Yes, it is. So right now he just instantly has 8 power on the board, which is pretty crazy. So I really need to draw a 2nd land. Unfortunately, I'd actually rather have him have an Assault Griffin than a Griffin Sentinel. So then these guys could attack without any fear. That's tough. It's very unfortunate, but we could play two creatures at once now. So I'm throwing guys away, but really I just have to get guys on the board here. He's at 6 life. Something like Frost Breath would be amazing. Even a second island. Like I definitely have outs, and just having more guys than he does is better. Um, Other than that, on a 2-turn clock. If he has a second Griffin Sentinel, that's even worse. Another Griffin Rider is not better either, but makes okay. Rune Clubber not good either. Just playing these guys. If I draw a second island before he draws a second Griffin Sentinel, I'd be a very happy man. Unfortunately, that's not gonna happen because he has Assault Griffin. So that kind of sucks. He didn't attack with his Griffin Sentinel, which was a mistake. He missed out on 1 damage. So here I'd actually rather a third depth the Griffin Sentinel than the Assault Griffin. That way, if the Assault Griffin wants to block, he's trading. For sure. But even still, I think if I do draw a second island, I'll still take this guy out because he could play Griffin Sentinel and have stave off mana, whereas this, he still needs 1 more land and he has to replay it. So he's only taking 1. Here, like, I'm only getting 2 damage in. If I draw Frost Breath, I'll tap 2 Griffin Riders, and he'll block a Griffin Sentinel. He'll block a Coromorph with a Griffin Sentinel, block the 2 Garruk's Companion with a Griffin Rider, and with 1 of the Griffin Riders, and then block. I'm not sure. This is interesting, man. Really need a second island here. Terramorphic Expanse would be a really good addition in this deck. At this point, all my guys get blocked. And if I attack with the team, he only takes 2 damage. He has the win here, actually. 12, yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. I didn't notice that, but yeah, he had the win here. So that was pretty unfortunate. We didn't get there fast enough with our lands, and we're pretty color screwed. And we have no flyer, so that's definitely a tough one. Frost Breath was next, of course. But that's game 1. We'll have a game 3, hopefully, and I'll see you for then.